Hello, beautiful people. If this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. And if you're returning, it's great to see you again. In this video, what you'll receive is my channeled message, and also a page from the Angel Guidance book and a card from the Universal Love Healing deck. Now, please note that this is a collective group message, meaning it may not align with you today, and that's simply okay. Come back tomorrow where it may resonate with what you need to know. Interesting topic. It's a debatable one. And I hope that you stay tuned in because it's just offering a different perspective on this particular topic. So what is today's cat's message? Feeling anxious? Why? So today is about really identifying, not just settling and saying, I feel anxious. Let's really give you a different perspective in a way that you can really look deeper into your anxiousness and see if you can identify and then bring in tools to implement to assist you. So what causes you to feel anxious? Have you identified the situations, the people, the topics, the actions, the tasks that cause your emotional state to become unbalanced? Is it anxiousness or is it nervousness? What's the difference? They are very similar. I looked up the interpretations or the definitions in the dictionary, and they're very similar. Today's anxiety is an automatic default. It's so commonly used for such a variety of emotional reactions to a multitude of different situations. Some people, I've noticed, just automatically go, oh, I've been really anxious this week. And I stop them and I go, are you aware of what's causing you to feel anxious? What are the things that are happening in your life right now that are causing you to feel anxious? And they can't answer me the question. And I find that really odd because I go, why are you settling for an emotional reaction that isn't really healthy without questioning why and what's causing you to feel that? And this is ultimately the core of today's message. Could it be that you're nervous, which is a healthy emotional reaction? You know, our emotions are very much like our heartbeat. Our heartbeat goes up and down, up and down. That's a normal, healthy heartbeat, right? If it flatlines and does this, what does it mean? I don't need to say the word. And so healthy emotional reactions is like our heartbeat. And some of you may be feeling that, no, you just want to be this all the time. And I go, well, what is that? Of course, there are going to be situations which you're going to emotionally react to. However, it's about how long you sit in that emotional reaction. If you're sitting in it for longer, are you identifying why? And this is where I'm going to keep going is why? When most people do things that are new and takes them out of their comfort zone, right? And some may even cause the word fear, right? I'm going to include me in this. The what if thoughts begin to flow through thick and fast. Oh my goodness. They really do. And I'm going to share a story after I read the message with you, an experience, and I believe I've used it before, and I will give a different scenario now that I've just realized that. What matters is how you then emotionally react to those thoughts. How does your emotional state impact your ability to look at the situation logically? This can be the cause of feeling anxious, nervous, a feeling of overwhelm, losing the total ability to logically view the situation or the task or even an event for what it actually is. Really, what is actually happening rather than what all the what if scenarios your thoughts have made up about that particular situation. I hope you're following me here. Our thoughts create the worst case scenarios and all the what ifs, which then causes an emotional unbalance, right? The feeling of anxiousness or nervousness or overwhelm, whatever word works for you. The anxiousness, the overwhelm, or the nervousness impacts your ability to logically see whatever is going on for what it actually is and give you clarity and certainty about that situation. I hope that that was really clear in a step-by-step. And once I do this, I may reiterate it. It's not your truth. Once again, it's our thoughts writing the script. In other words, it's your thoughts writing the story and the outcome of if you do that particular task or if you're in that particular situation. All your what-if stories are writing the script for you. And it's up to you whether you choose to buy into it or go, oh yeah, and catch them and go, not following your story. It's so important. So there's an exercise at the end of this that this may really assist you. If you are in a situation or anything that causes you to feel anxious, nervous, or overwhelmed, whatever feeling emotional that can normally take you out, I want you to write down, draw 5 columns. And in each column, this is what I want you to write. First, write down the situations or the things that cause you to feel anxious. All right, so write them down, whether it's driving, public speaking, doing a live, doing whatever it is. Then next to them, write the outcomes. Like write down first the thought, actually. Write down in the second column, write whether it causes you to feel anxious, overwhelmed, lost, fear. Write it down. Because that's identifying the emotion, right? Of how that situation impacts your emotional state, right? So it makes you feel nervous. If you do this, it makes you feel nervous. Then I want you in the next one to write, what will happen? What's the worst case scenario of what will happen if you do it? What's the outcome if you do it? And then I want you to write that, well, I've got consequence. What will happen if you don't do it? So I'll give you an example. Public speaking was my biggest fear. It would make me feel so overwhelmed. That's the word I like to use. It resonates with me, and nervous to the point that I would want to feel sick. I'd feel like I was going to pass out. And that was all stemming from my thoughts of what my thoughts were telling me. So I wrote down what my thoughts were telling me, right? You're going to look like an idiot. People are going to laugh at you. You're not a speaker. I wrote down all the excuses all the what ifs, right? And then I wrote in the next column my truths. When I did some journaling and I logically wrote down and went, Kat, if you public speak, what's really the worst that's going to happen? You make a mistake. Oh, well. People laugh at you. Oh, well, you've brought joy to somebody else. So I weighed it all up, and my outcome, if I don't do that, then I miss out on a massive opportunity for my own personal growth, and it really does hinder my growth going in the direction of where I want to go. My end goal of doing things like this, doing live events, doing workshops, doing courses. If I couldn't jump that final big, massive, scary hurdle, I wouldn't be doing this today. That was one of the biggest consequences if I don't do it. And so I walked a deep breath and said, Kat, and I really kept taking out those thoughts and going, that's not truth. No, just do it. If they laugh at you, oh well. If it brings a smile to someone's face, great. Oh my gosh, I can't remember all of what I was going to say. Oh well, get up there and just ad-lib it. Just do whatever comes. And I did it. And I got up there for 5 minutes. And the amount of feedback that I got really assisted me. It was like, yeah, people laughed, but they were laughing at my story, not at me. And then I decided this isn't about me, this is about them. And maybe my story, sharing the fear and all what I had endured before getting up in front of them, may assist someone moving past their fears. And so, yeah, for some of you, you may call that anxiety. Yeah? But anxiety says that you sit in that and you've got that continuously. But I go, is that because you yourself are fearful in every day to get out of your comfort zone? Is that what's causing you to feel anxiety every day? Or are you feeling anxious because of the life that you're currently in? It's not serving you well. So it's anxious. It's like, I got to get up and do the same shit every day. And that causes you anxiety because it's like, I already know what this day is going to turn like. And you don't want to face the day. I am not dismissing for some of you who feel you've got anxiety. I am absolutely not dismissing that. I respect that that's what you feel is going on with you and what you've been diagnosed with. Absolutely. I am not questioning that. I'm purely offering another perspective. And because what I find is so many people in our society today, we just are so not consciously aware and we just accept things. We go, oh, we're feeling anxious, we're feeling sad, we're feeling this, we're feeling that, and we don't question. And really that is, in essence, all of my videos are hopefully to offer another perspective that you haven't questioned before. And that's simply all this is. It's not judgment, it's not criticism, it's nothing more than purely offering you a different perspective. And it's up to you whether you choose to look at it or not. If it doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. That's okay. Then I may not be the person for you, or today's message may not be for you. But it's a big one. And it is because I hear probably most days, oh, I've been anxious. Oh, I've been anxious all this week. I'm like, all week? Wow. What's going on? Why do you feel you've been anxious? Oh, I don't know. No, you do know. Why do you feel you've been anxious? What have you been doing this week that's really causing you to feel this unbalance, this emotional unbalance? And then they'll go through and I go, so how did you feel about doing that? Oh, mate, I was so nervous. And I go, so that caused you to feel nervous. Really identify how you felt in that moment rather than blanket your whole week with you've been anxious all week. Go to the individual situations or the events and then identify how you felt in that event and write that down because that's what matters. And for many of you, the events that cause you to feel anxious will be ones that are pushing you out of your comfort zone. Things that are new to you, that are unfamiliar, or, that you've not done before, that it's pushing you. And maybe there's someone has asked something of you that is like, I don't think I can do it. So of course, you're going to feel nervous because it's the fear of the unknown. That's a normal reaction. We all have that. I have that. When someone asks me to do something that's way out of my comfort zone, I just go, and then I go, Kat, this is trying to take you out. Stop. Maybe not give an answer there and then. Just say, look, I'll get back to you within 24 hours or whatever. Or sometimes I don't even allow these to take over. I just go, yep. I just say yes. And then I can worry about the fear later. Because what happens is, and I've discussed this in a previous video, is if you just respond with yes, you're not allowing this to take you out, for one. And two, now that you've actually committed, it's going to make it harder to retract your commitment. Does that make sense? And so you go into a different thought pattern of, okay, I've now got to do this because I've committed, just as I did that day. What am I going to do? And there were months and months I would hold our monthly live events and I would walk in and I would be feeling sick and nervous and so much in my thoughts. And I'd forget all what I'd planned. And then, I was in this conflict. It was like, Kat, just do it, just do it, just do it. And it was like, what's the worst that's going to happen? The women laugh at me or they leave. Oh, well. But it's pushing me out of a comfort zone. It's pushing me into an area that I so want to go. And I'm really good when I'm pushed and put under pressure is when I'll do, because it's like, I can't escape this. And maybe that works for you. So for me now, any offers that come in, unless it's something I really doesn't interest me, if there's a fear of like, I just say yes. And I worry about all of that afterwards. But what I do is I journal and in my logical self go through and then try and find real reasons of why, not excuses. And it's amazing when you have that ability to logically think through something, how it's like, why am I worried about this? I've got this. Yeah, if I make a mistake, oh well. And I've really become comfortable with, as you can see on my videos, if I make a mistake, oh well, I hope that you get a giggle from them. It means I've put a smile on your face. That's okay. So let's keep moving along to the daily page. What have we got today? Oh, pray. So for those of you where the word pray doesn't really align with you, you could say that meditation, deep breathing, journaling, they're all ways to really sit with yourself, get in touch with self, and maybe you may choose to speak to your guides, your angels. So that's another way. Speak to divine. And if you are religious, then pray to your God. And absolutely, it's a time of reflection, and it's a time to really decide what you want. That's what we pray for, right? That is it. And to send blessings to others. So before I read this message, if you'd like to close your eyes, take a deep breath with me. Ooh, I needed that breath before we get into the message. And I find, and I don't know about you, but every time I take a deep breath, sometimes I yawn after it. I think it's because when I'm speaking and I'm on a roll and I'm very passionate, I don't breathe. I'm sure that's the reason. So anyway, prayer means communing with the divine through dialogue. It's your method of conveying your hopes, dreams, and wishes to the spirit world, where we angels love to assist you. You don't need to tell us what you desire, for it's apparent to all who are attuned to you. However, divine degree states that you must give us the signal that you're approachable and amenable to receiving assistance. That's all we wait for, and then our assistance is yours. Prayer can help you clear the air within yourself during times of confusion and indecision. Perfect. It's a process of self-reflection and honesty in which you let your guard down and admit your deepest feelings and desires. Although we already know your true feelings, this is a means of communing with spirit, especially your higher self, and with a deep sense of acceptance. This allows you to bring your shadows to the light, where you discover that there's nothing to fear. Prayer is an act of surrendering, asking for help, and being open to receiving assistance. This receptivity allows the great light to come streaming into your consciousness, where your thoughts and emotions are lifted to higher levels. Thought for today. I pray that I can open my heart to receive. I ask for help, guidance, and the answers. And I discuss my deepest fears, desires, and emotions with spirit. I love that, because if the word prayer did not align with you, then this is the time to really become clear on what you want. This is in essence what it's saying. Some of you may feel lost of late. And I'm going to say it's time now to sit with yourself and dream. Dream big. Because at the moment, some of you are writing goals and dreams, but they're based on your fears. Your fears are limiting where you're goal setting, because it's like, you know, if I go above that, that's scary. And that anxiousness feeling comes in when you're writing your goals. Oh my gosh, I'm feeling it. So you're writing your goals and you're going, yeah, I'm going to write that there because I'm comfortable with that. It doesn't cause me to feel anxious. But if I write, I want this bigger goal, I become anxious. And so then this goal goes back down and you feel back to comfortability. How many of you absolutely resonated with that? That when you're writing goals that you feel comfortable and that are achievable without pushing you. Is that then a goal? That's just a to-do list because you know that you can achieve it. You're not growing from it. You're not learning from it. How are you moving forward from it? And it's scary. You're not the only one that feels fear. So many people, it's like I said to them, I feel fear at times too, and they look at me like I'm an alien. It's like, hmm? And I said, why? Do you feel that you're unusual, that you're the only one that feels fear? Are you the only one that feels anxious in that particular situation? Yeah. I said, no. We all have it within us. Because, of course, anything new that you're going to learn is uncomfortable. Go to a new job. It's uncomfortable. But you go because what's your driving force, what's pushing you to go is the money. So you'll do it. You'll do it for that. Some of you have gone, oh my gosh, yeah? But when it comes to something for self, you won't push yourself. You won't move out of your comfort zone. So it's about then identifying what's going to drive you. And that's why I always continuously look at my end goal, where I want to go, where I want to go, where I want to go. I want to do live events. Okay, well then I've got to keep doing this to get more comfortable just speaking. I don't want to do live events with a script. I want it to flow. I want to connect with the audience. I want to feel what the audience wants to hear and what they need to know. It's not about me having a script and going, this is what I'm going to tell you. No. That's why I do the channeled message. It's like I can think of thousands of things to speak about, but I want to speak about things that are relevant and that it will assist people because it's not about me. And so what have you been offered of late that you haven't responded to because fear? I hope that you ring or you contact and go, yep, I'm going to do it. Because now you've committed. And that's going to be your driving force to take that step. Things are scary. We all feel it. But it's how you react to it that matters. I hope you get that. And to keep using the word anxiety and keep saying I'm anxious, guess what you're attracting? More of that. When you say I've been anxious all week, what are you saying? No, look at each individual situation that you've endured through the week and then look at them as that. Okay, in that situation, oh my gosh, I was overwhelmed. Why was I overwhelmed? Because this. This one, yeah, I was anxious because it was taking me out of my comfort zone and it took me a big leap out of my comfort zone. Okay, did I do it? Yes, great, done. Look at each individual situation. Don't blanket your whole week by what you think your week was like. Because you're not acknowledging the little hurdles that you jumped. Instead, you're looking at how you felt, which really isn't truth. Yeah? I hope that makes sense. Okay, we've got 2 cards today. One jumped out. One jumped out? Meditation. What was I just speaking about? So really what it is saying in essence is it's time to take time out, really reflect, and maybe just that exercise where you are maybe the person that says, oh, I've been anxious all week. I'd love for you to do that exercise, but maybe through deep breathing, just taking some time out for you, going for a walk, journaling, whatever works for you. And then just look at each individual thing that you went through that week and then go, how did I feel about that? How did I feel about that? How did I feel about that? I want to teach you and show you how to be more consciously aware of what goes on every day. Not generalize how you feel, not generalize your life. Become specific. Really narrow it down. Because then you get more clarity about you and what's happening. If you look at always just the whole big, oh, my week was crap, Really? You didn't have one good moment? Because that's what you're saying to me. You didn't have any good moments. I'm like, that cannot physically be true. Maybe it is for some of you. And I'm just struggling to absolutely imagine. I'm going to say imagine that. But I absolutely don't want any of you to feel dismissed or that I'm questioning. Yeah? So meditate. Take some time out. Get in tune with you. What's going on internally? Your soul is yearning to communicate with you, so sit quietly and listen. Let the light of your soul fill your heart and mind. Listen to the guidance that comes from within. Pay attention to your inner world and don't be distracted by what's going on outside of you. All you need is inside you, and the outside of, and not outside of you. The inner world is full of distractions. I'll read that again. I'm endeavoring to go too far ahead in my reading. The outer world is full of distractions and illusions. In your inner world resides your truth. If you are struggling to find an answer or a solution to something, then still your mind through meditation and soon will all become clear. So I want to really delete the word meditation because I don't want it to hold any of you back going, oh, I don't meditate, don't even know what that feels like. No, just go for a walk. Just reflect back to what your week. Remember back to what your week was like. Go through it. Analyze it. There you go. That's a real, analytical word. Analyze every situation that you went through last week. Break it down. Put it into little bite-sized chunks. Really look at it. Yeah? And it's not, oh my goodness. Yeah. Really look at it. And one thing that's just come up and through, I just sneak peeked at the card. And it really is, there are some goals. Some of you have got some big goals and you've set them from here. It's what you really want. But your gut's not believing it. And so you're really safeguarding yourself and not taking those big leaps and bounds in order to get you to where you want to go. So I'm going to say to you, it's really time to do this. For those of you who feel anxious and you say that you have anxiety, and really look at you. That's all I'm saying. I'm not debating anything. I'm not questioning anything. I'm just saying that why you keep telling yourself certain things about your emotional state, you're holding yourself back. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, look, this card has come up again. Golden path. Some of you have got an amazing golden path, but you feeling anxious or having anxiety is holding you back. But I'm going to say it is perfectly normal to feel nervous or anxious about doing something that's taking you out of your comfort zone. We all feel it. Until we do it, that anxiousness is going to be there. That's the bleeding obvious, isn't it? Especially if you've got a golden path and you've got some bloody big dreams. Of course, you're going to feel nervous or anxious till you take that step. So it could be a month, 2 months till you move out of your comfort zone. But you've got two choices right now. You either allow those anxious thoughts to keep taking you out from getting you out of your comfort zone, or you sit and logically look at it and go, you know what? I'm going to do it. What's the worst that can happen? Someone laughs at me. And I always say, rather than what's the worst that can happen, what's the best thing can happen from me doing this? Oh my gosh. And that's the question I asked myself when I went and was the director of that club. It's like, what's the best that can happen? I'll get comfortable public speaking. Oh my gosh, and that's been my greatest fear. I would used to say I would rather die than public speak. Like, really, in reality, is that true? No, I don't want to die. So that's when I logically went, okay, write down all the worst things that are going to happen. I wrote down what my what ifs were telling me. And then I wrote down what are the benefits if I do this? What's the outcome? And then I wrote, what's the outcome if I don't do it? And guess what? I much preferred what happens if I do than I don't. And I focused on that. And I went, Kat, you got two choices. You either allow your fear to manage you or you manage your fears. Choice. It's not easy. With commitment and drive and going, nah, I want this and that this is where I'm going to focus. You can overcome. You can manage your thoughts. It takes commitment. And firstly, it takes choice. You've got to want to. Yeah? It doesn't just happen. Because honestly, the golden path, I believe, has come up 3 to 4 times in less than a week and a half. That's what I feel. And I'll go back and check it. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I know that it has come up. This is at least the 3rd time. And when a card keeps coming up, it's saying, hello, not listening. Oh, and now what's just come through? Wherever this card has come up, whatever the topic is with the card, the subject matter, that subject is contributing to holding you back from walking your path. So today is feeling anxious, nervous, overwhelmed. That's one of the reasons it's holding you back. Go back and look at the other videos where you can see this card on the thumbnail. Go and watch it and look at the topic, because they're just sharing with me. These are the particular things that are holding you back. Brilliant. I love that. I just want to say thank you. So I'm actually going to take note of that and see which days and what messages came through, and I may do a video just on those. So awesome. Really, really good. So before I read the golden path, because I absolutely want to read that, close your eyes, take a deep breath with me. Just so you can recenter yourself and absorb the words from this message. And I really want you, I would like you, that would be a nicer way to ask you. Close your eyes and I want you to listen to the words in this message. Continue your current course of action, even if you are experiencing unforeseen difficulties and obstacles. This card has shown up in your reading today to encourage you to keep going. Faith, perseverance, conviction, and commitment will lead you to your golden path. Now is not the time to give up. A bright future is in the making, even though you cannot currently see it. For many of you, you may not have you've got little goals, but you can't, or you haven't seen really where your end goal is. And to be truthful, mine is shifting. And at the moment, I'm being divinely guided, and that may sound really strange. There are certain things I do absolutely intentional, and I'm very clear on what I want with personal goals and dreams. With my business, for some reason, I did have very clear vision of what I wanted, and for some reason, different things are being brought in. And I'm going, okay, I'm going to be guided, because I feel my path is just going a little bit like this. And so I'm just really entrusting my higher self and faith and divine guidance to wherever I'm headed. And it will become clear, because at the moment I am very much more like some of you. I can't currently see it. I absolutely feel it. There is that light that I'm walking towards. Absolutely. I'm on my path. I feel like it's here. It's starting to narrow. So see how the path, there's all these different things I've been doing, and it's starting to narrow, And so as I come closer, I will see exactly. So if you don't have your exact destination, don't worry about it right now. Because sometimes that can cause anxiety and overwhelm, because everybody says, you got to have, where are you going with it? And I don't necessarily agree with that. We do absolutely have to have some set goals with self, with personal self. And some of them may be a little bit. But I'm not going to have sleepless nights over it, because most people say, oh, you should. Why? I ask people why. I do with certain things, definitely with self. I've got certain goals about that. But I don't believe you can have all your life laid out for you, because as we know, different situations will come up, circumstances will come up. I'll give you a prime example. I said at the age of 16 I didn't want children. Yeah, guess what? By 17 I was a mum. So where we envisage and set certain goals in life, they don't necessarily come to fruition, because our target changes, because we grow, we evolve, and that's okay. So as you grow and evolve, the things you wanted then may not be suitable for you moving forward. So you just keep shifting the target, and that's okay, even though most people say it's not. If you become too regimented and too in your goals, that really puts a lot of pressure on self, right? Because you said, oh, I've set that goal and I've got to have that goal. It's like, yes. However, if you've grown and evolved, that goal is no longer suited for you, and that's okay. So if you're feeling a little bit structured or regimented, that you set that goal 5 years ago and you've still got to get that goal, give yourself a break. And maybe that's what's causing you to feel anxious, because it's not really what you want. So find, and even if you can only find some things for now, things to take action, things that have caused you anxiousness, it's time to jump the hurdle. It's time to get out of your comfort zone. Because when you do start doing that, this is going to become more clear. You will see, because things are happening underneath. And they're waiting for you to take steps, but it takes you really managing your emotional state of being. So anxiousness, nervousness, overwhelm. Bring in breathing. And people laugh at me when I say that. And I go, breathing has so much power if you choose to do it wisely and invest in it. Because if you do the way I teach breathing, you've got to so focus on getting enough breath in and pushing every breath out that there's no room for other thoughts to come in. And that's the purpose of it. So you've got a golden path. It's waiting for you, and it's outside of your comfort zone. It's outside of your anxiety. It's outside of your overwhelm and your fears. This card, I love this card. It brings me much joy when I look at the golden path and all the rays that are around it. And when you have a close look, you could almost see the head, the body, and wings. I don't know if you can see it, but that's what I see. So honor yourself. Be kind to you. And really be mindful and become consciously aware of how you feel. And choose to become the manager of your emotions rather than your emotions manage you. Give yourself a promotion. It's awesome when you can manage your thoughts and you catch them out and you go, yeah, no, I'm not buying into you today. It is achievable. It takes time. It takes practice, practice, practice. And there's also the flipper bracelet, which I mentioned on quite a few videos. So I hope that you take away just even a smidge today, just something little to move you that tiny step forward. Yeah. I want to thank you for spending your time with me, as I absolutely respect your time is valuable. And know that you matter. You matter. You are your most valuable asset. So invest in you every day. If you enjoyed today's video, please like my video, subscribe to the channel, and also click on the notifications bell so you'll be notified when I upload tomorrow's Cat's Message of the Day. So for today, take care.